Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever stared at an algebra problem that's just loaded with fractions and thought to yourself, where do I even begin? Well, today we're going to flip that script and turn that confusion into total confidence. Let's jump right in. Okay, so take a look at this equation right here. It's got fractions, it's got brackets, an unknown variable. At first glance, yeah, it looks pretty tough. But here's the thing. What if we stop thinking of it as a scary math problem and start seeing it as just a puzzle?
That's right, and every puzzle has rules, right? Once you know the rules, you can solve any puzzle. The key is just learning how to move the pieces around, and that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll cover what changing the subject even means. Then, I'll show you the step-by-step method. After that, we'll see why this is so handy for finding unknowns. And to wrap it all up, we're going to tackle that exact puzzle we started with.
All right, let's dive in. First things first, what in the world is changing the subject? You know, this is the key, the foundation that unlocks everything else. It's actually pretty simple. The subject of a formula is just the one variable that's sitting all by itself on one side of the equal sign. It's basically the thing the formula is set up to solve for. Think about a really familiar one, the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. See how P is the subject? The whole formula is built to find P. And everything else, the length L and the breadth B, they're all on the other side doing the work.
Okay, so how do we actually rearrange a formula? Well, it all comes down to one golden rule. Think of an equation like a perfectly balanced scale. If you add a little weight to one side, you have to add the exact same weight to the other to keep it level, right? It's the same with math. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. This is our master key.
Okay, now that we have that golden rule down, let's build a real strategy with it. We're going to take a look at a trickier formula and see how we can use that rule to isolate a totally different variable.
So here's our next challenge, and this is where it gets interesting. Look closely. Our target, the letter T, is in two places at once. It's in the numerator and the denominator. So the big question is, how on earth do we get those two T's together so we can get one of them on its own? Well, we've got a foolproof four-step plan. Step 1. We got to get rid of that fraction. It's the biggest hurdle. We do that by multiplying both sides by the whole denominator. Easy enough. Step 2. We expand all the brackets and start sorting. We herd all the terms that have a T over to one side, and everything else gets pushed to the other. Step 3 is the real clever part. We factorize. We pull that T out in front of a new set of brackets. And just like that, we've only got one T to deal with. Finally, step 4, the home stretch. We just divide to get that T completely on its own.
And just look at the difference. I mean, that's a serious transformation. We went from an equation that solved for y to one that solves for t. The crazy part is, the underlying math, the relationship between all those letters, hasn't changed at all. We've just kind of spun it around to look at it from a brand new perspective.
So why do we even bother learning this? What's the point? Well, this is the real payoff. It means you can take any formula and use it to find any missing piece of the puzzle, not just the one it was originally designed for. Let's jump back to that simple perimeter formula for a second. Using our new skills, we can shuffle it around to make L, the length, the new subject. So now, imagine someone tells you the total perimeter is 132 and the breadth is 30. With our rearranged formula, finding the length is going to be a piece of cake. And check out how easy it is to plug in the numbers now. We pop 132 in for P. We put 30 in for B and multiply that by 2, which is 60. Then we just do the subtraction. 132 minus 60 leaves us with 72. And the last step, divide that by 2. And bam, there's our answer. The length is 36. See, because we did the hard work of changing the subject first, the final calculation was just simple arithmetic. Okay, deep breaths. We've got the concepts down, we've walked through the method, and we've seen why it matters. Now it's time for the main event. Let's put everything we've learned together and finally solve that puzzle from the beginning. And here it is, the one we started with. It might have looked a little scary before, but not anymore. Now we have all the tools we need. Our mission is simple. Find the value of A. Okay, rule number 1 for any equation with fractions, get rid of the fractions. It just makes life easier. So we look at our denominators, 5 and 3, and find a common multiple. 15 works great. Now we multiply every single thing in that equation by 15. What that does is it magically clears out those pesky denominators, leaving us with something so much nicer to work with.
All right, next up is just a bit of tidying. We multiply out the brackets, so we get 3a minus 6 plus 5a minus 5. Then we just group together the things that are alike. The a terms, 3a plus 5a, give us 8a, and the numbers, minus 6 and minus 5, give us minus 11. See? So much cleaner.
We are so close now. This is the final stretch. We just need to get a by itself. So remember the golden rule? We add 11 to both sides, which gives us 8a equals 26. And for the final move, we divide both sides by 8. And there we have it. Our answer? A is 26 over 8, or if we simplify it, 13 over 4. Puzzle officially solved.
And there you go. What looked like a really messy, complicated problem at the start was actually just a series of small, manageable steps. You just had to know the rules of the game, and you found the solution. Nicely done.
So if there's one big thing to take away from all this, it's that a formula isn't some fixed rule you just have to accept. No way. It's a tool, and a really flexible one at that. When you learn how to rearrange it, you're the one in control. You can make it tell you whatever you need to know. Honestly, by learning how to do this, you've picked up more than just a math trick. It's a whole new way of thinking, of looking at a problem logically and finding a strategy to solve it. I really hope this has helped you see that algebra isn't so scary after all. So, the only question left is, now that you have the rules, what puzzle are you going to solve next? Thanks so much for watching.